Brain drain is a phenomenon that happens when a country loses a high number of their highly skilled and educated personnel to another country. According to the thesaurus of the Education Resources Information Center (ERIC), brain drain can be defined as the loss of highly skilled or educated persons from one country, region, institution, or job sector to another, based on better pay, improved living conditions, expanded opportunities, among others. Dirina et al. The 2001 described brain drain as a phenomenon that happens due to the lack of institutional ability to absorb and employ advanced intellectual capital, thus causing the loss of it. The past 20 years has seen a series of brain drain in ASEAN countries, which includes Malaysia as well. Achiang, 2020. According to a news article by The Sun Daily, a 2020 tour research shows that roughly 500,000 highly educated and skilled Malaysians contributed to the human capital flight phenomena these past 40 years. In 2009, the World Bank noted a major scarcity of high-tech skills in Malaysia, particularly among new graduates, which indicated serious problems with the nation's educational system. Throughout 2015, this dynamic remained, and Malaysia has seen many past approaches to tackle the brain drain. For example, the NEM was announced in March 2010 with the goal of guaranteeing that Malaysia would be regarded as a developed country by the year 2020. By 2020, it is anticipated that Malaysian citizens would enjoy income levels, improved standards of living, and sustained growth. And Rahadi Sharif et al. 2018. However, brain drain still remains a challenge for Malaysia as we see many young talents migrating abroad for more opportunities. Not to mention, the younger generation feels that there is a bigger and better world out there for them. This phenomena has been going on for many years till this day. Despite the effort that has been done to keep young talent in the country, we still see the younger generation opting for other countries than their own. This has certainly caused some issues and many difficulties to retain young talent, as well as difficulty for brain gain.
In Malaysia, the brain drain phenomena has been steadily increasing throughout the years. This problem results in a decline in the number of employees across all skill levels, with a particular emphasis on professionals. This does not help Malaysia to retain highly skilled workers, as the absence of properly implemented policies contributes to the brain drain phenomena. Not to mention, human capital flight, also known as brain drain, can be contributed by various different factors. Firstly, brain drain issues in Malaysia stems from the poor opportunities for career growth. This contributes to the lack of suitable opportunities for the younger generations. When they feel as if their career is not going to grow the way they expected it to, or despite the effort they put into it, it certainly will become a factor for finding better opportunities. Most companies in Malaysia are known to reward loyalty rather than the person's level of productivity in the organization. Usually this loyalty refers to the people who have worked a long time in an organization, and it makes the younger generation feel as if their education and effort doesn't matter compared to the older generation who has been working longer. Poor job satisfaction has also been an issue contributing to the brain drain phenomena in Malaysia. According to the World Bank in 2011, the main factor for Malaysia's brain drain is because of poor job satisfaction. This refers to the salaries and benefits that are not attractive to fellow Malaysians. Underpayment is a topic always discussed under job satisfaction, as it is related with the financial aspect or money-related reason for brain drain in Malaysia. There are particular professions in Malaysia that has the biggest complaints regarding underpayments, and it directly affects the compensation system in Malaysia, which can be very unsatisfying. Job satisfaction is a real challenge, as high salary and benefits are the main elements in meeting the expectation of a worker for them to have a better form of financial security. Not to mention, employees won't be as driven to look for other employment if employers are providing greater compensation. Quality of life is also an issue that leads to brain drain. Quality of life is the standard of how one can live their life in a healthy, comfortable, and enjoyable way. When something does not meet the standard that they are seeking to give them an ideal quality of life, people are bound to search for better opportunities. Malaysia was found to have lower quality of life in the 2013 Quality Life Index. This certainly contributes to the increment of brain drain. Many are willing to migrate to another country to have a better quality of life out there. Hence, the consistent brain drain in Malaysia. Finally, perceived racial discrimination has been a popular topic amongst the brain drain issues in Malaysia. This refers to the social injustice experienced by Malaysians in their own country. For example, when non-Bumiputera Malaysians experience certain social injustice, such as the difficulty or lack of chance to enter into a public universities, it would make them feel compelled to search for possibilities overseas and work overseas upon graduation. People may do so because of the fear from being rejected due to their race and fear of not being able to land a job at all. Not to mention, some Malaysians feel that they don't want their children to grow up in a society that is unfair or unjust, where they won't be treated properly or according to their merits. Therefore, racial discriminatory practices is a factor in people leaving the country.
Next, we will be discussing about the implications of brain drain issues in Malaysia. The first issue describes poor opportunity for career growth, as known as lack of suitable opportunities for the people to develop themselves more in terms of their skills and work. This is because most people think that their capabilities are not being appreciated enough, especially in terms of salary. They know their worth and they are looking for a place that could meet their expectations. As a result, fresh graduates often seem to fly overseas to seek a job or have already planned their whole future there instead of trying their luck in Malaysia. There is also a tradition in Malaysia where the longer you work in a certain company, the higher the salary would be, which frustrates the fresh graduates. This whole stereotype makes people think that they will not be good enough to reach the standard that has been set and also will be receiving different treatment than the others. In a recent Randstad survey, 90% of Malaysians want to leave to improve professional prospects and work-life balance. According to the 2019 Randstad Work Monitor third quarter, 3Q, survey, countries close to home, such as Australia, Singapore, and Japan are the top 3 choices for locally based respondents. Next, we all know that money is not everything, but everything needs money. Hence, it is rational for someone to demand a salary with the same value as their worth. A worker is more likely to perform to his full ability if he is satisfied with his pay. A person who earns a high salary is motivated to do a good job because he wants to please his employer in order to keep his job. His wage provides him with a sense of stability, helps him to feel accomplished, and provides him with a high prestige rating that he values. As we are moving towards a digitalization modern era, it has to be noted that the cost for living is not decreasing but in fact, keeps increasing year by year. Therefore, there is a need for people to have proper financial planning, and to start with, they need a stable income first. According to the Time Doctor website, Malaysia's average monthly salary is 6,590 MYR, Malaysian ringgit, or $1,574, which is significantly lower than the average salary in other developed countries such as the United States, Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, and the United Kingdom, making Malaysia one of the most popular outsourcing destinations in Southeast Asia. Therefore, it can clearly be seen why most people choose not to work in Malaysia but to other countries that offers higher pay to make sure they can achieve stable financial status. Life is something that we need to treasure and value, and because of this, everyone needs to put their quality of life on top of everything. It can be said that the work environment in Malaysia is not that good, as according to a survey, Malaysian employees are overworked and sleep deprived, with 51% experiencing at least one dimension of work-related stress and 53% sleeping less than 7 hours per day. There are always a bunch of questions related to why Malaysia has produced a lot of potential graduates every year, yet the country still suffers from brain drain. This is simply because the work surroundings in Malaysia are not that healthy, moreover for new workers such as the fresh graduates. Meanwhile, Singapore attracted workers from Malaysia with better incomes, great career development opportunities and attractive lifestyles. There is also a trend where people work in Singapore but live in Malaysia. The environment in Singapore is great but the cost of living is so high. Therefore, people choose to earn in Singapore dollar but spend in ringgit Malaysia, as spending in ringgit is equivalent to spending 1/3 of a Singapore dollar. Hence, people choose to work overseas to have a better life quality with high salary. Last but not least, the implication of social injustice issues in the working environment of Malaysia. It is a general fact that Bumiputera Malaysia will be treated in a better way than the non-Bumiputera in some aspects. The most well-known one is in tertiary education, where there is a university that is specially made for the Bumiputera, University Technology Mara, UITM. When there is this kind of separation, the non-Bumiputera will find it unfair for them as they have limited quota to enter public universities. This also happens when they are seeking jobs. We can see that a lot of non-Buma Putera are working in the private sector and not in the public. This is simply because of the fear of discrimination. While the government has frequently said that low pay is one of the reasons many non-Bumis aren't interested in joining the civil service, independent analysts feel that unequal treatment of people, particularly in terms of promotions, is also a factor. Thus, the recruitment of civil worker will be happening every year as there will always be a gap to be filled in this sector. In conclusion, there are many implications of the brain drain issues in Malaysia. The most outstanding outcome is that we have to import outsiders to work on things in our own country rather than having our own production from our country. The people need to consider giving a chance to the country, but it takes two to tango. Therefore, the government also needs to play a big role in improving the aspects that have been highlighted many times to make sure that we have enough workforce to solve the country's issues.
The first recommendation to solve the issue is by increasing the creation of job opportunities. There are several ways that entrepreneurship promotes economic growth. The most basic one is by creating business opportunities that lead to employment. It is in charge of producing jobs with various educational qualifications. For instance, smaller business owners are more likely to recruit workers with little to no education, opening up opportunities for people from all societal groups. Local hiring is another habit of entrepreneurs, which strengthens the social structure of the neighborhoods in which they operate. Microeconomic employment creation is additionally, they pay taxes, which increases the national income of a nation and makes them more likely to save money and invest it in order to buy bigger assets in the future. According to New Straits Times of 2022, Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafar Abdul Aziz stated that the government would concentrate on two primary initiatives to sustain the economic growth momentum this year, creating jobs and fostering the development of entrepreneurs. According to him, this comprises the creation of 600,000 job possibilities through the Fremurti Billion Semaringtika project for entrepreneurs. Next, the second recommendation is by improving job satisfaction. The leadership's actions within an organization have an impact on its culture. Employees feel for one another and expect that everyone be treated with respect. Senior leaders should act as role models for these attitudes by treating others with respect and holding others accountable for doing the same. Professional communication and internal procedures that are considerate of employees are two ways to show respect for others. For instance, if the company is obliged to implement any challenging changes that have an impact on an employee's position, those changes expanding the employee benefits is preferable for an organization. Aside from that, examine the perks that staff members respect and appreciate. To make sure your benefits package is affordable, compare it to other packages. Pay special attention to benefits that are family-friendly, focused on health and medical care, paid time off, defined contribution pension plans, and defined benefit pension plans. The perks that are free or low cost frequently have the biggest effects on contentment, offer chances for job progression. The ability to develop and improve one's career inside a business is something that Third, education and training programs will be a crucial factor to solve the issue. Programs like these help to establish a skilled and prepared workforce by providing the personnel with pertinent industry knowledge and expertise. Companies can cut down on the time and effort spent looking for qualified candidates by having a talent pool of skilled, employable individuals who are ready for the workplace. As stated by Kaurab, Web21, a part of Talent Corp's strategy to keep and develop local talent. Initiatives are currently underway to improve the abilities of local students in Malaysia. One such instance is Fast Track. Talent Corp also provides the structured internship program ASIPA, which encourages businesses to offer students high-quality learning experiences to help introduce them to the working world as early as possible. This program is offered in partnership with the Ministry of Higher Education. While this program offers students the chance to showcase their abilities as possible employees, businesses may also use the SIP to evaluate and choose interns who fit the bill for joining their team. This demonstrates how the SIP broadens the options available to firms for addressing their talent shortage challenge. It is hoped that the brain drain issue would be solved. Last is through the government policies. According to the World Bank of 2011, a lack of compensating inflow exacerbates brain drain. Malaysia is a significant recipient nation, but the majority of immigrants are low-skilled, and the number of high-skilled immigrants has decreased by 25 since 2004. According to Mail of 2021, a said assuring merit-based practices in particular fields like enterprise development and equity ownership, as well as understanding the need to address equitable opportunities for the poor communities, are among the things that are included in creating a more reliable and efficient political system. One of the aspects affecting a worker's job satisfaction is the compensation they receive. The payment must be organized, and appropriate financial incentives must be given as needed. One of the most significant economic elements that contributes to brain drain is salary, since workers find the income attractive in other nations. The government also has to revamp the vocational training system, ensuring that skills being created are in line with the market, and lessen gaps in the provision of high-quality basic education across rural and urban areas and between states, to prepare youngsters for the modern global economy. Policies that would guarantee. In conclusion, brain drain is a serious issue that needs to be sorted out quickly. It causes a loss in tax revenue, which would necessitate raising taxes to make up the difference. We can draw the conclusion that this phenomenon is highly present and current from several societal aspects by studying the literature on the brain drain issue. Since human capital and knowledge are what propel every nation's progress, it is initially reasonable to deduce that the brain drain from developing and poor nations is bad for these nations, a general state of affairs. However, the nations that educated individuals will go to in order to find employment and better living conditions are in a position to brain again. But when we examine the theories that were already in existence, we discovered three economic stances that were wholly incompatible with one another. Additionally, it causes a loss in tax revenue, which would necessitate raising taxes to make up the difference. Access to high-quality resources, like education and healthcare, may be limited for citizens, which has an impact on their quality of life. The overall social, economic, family, geographic, and natural variables are some of the push and pull elements that have an impact on the brain drain phenomena. Recent studies have revealed that when many young people are looking to study abroad in democratic nations, the home country will experience a significant democratic effect. However, many who leave their home countries after graduating continue to contribute money, typically for various family needs, and this has a significant impact on the broader economic system in most developing countries. With all the solutions to this issue will soon hopefully be solved.